In my quest to build the best Dawless Live Looping setup, I explored and tried a few drum machine options, including the Roland TR-8S and a machine MkII. In this video, I run through all the features I believe make it the best drum machine for a setup like this, or at least the way I perform live, plus all the settings I've learned for maximum versatility, and most importantly, the ability to play 4 hours live. Yes, 4 hours without having to change programs or any patches. This chapter was taken from my ultimate live looping setup tutorial and tips. The link is in the description if you want to check out the detailed breakdown of all my gear. And if you want more of this type of content, make sure to like and subscribe. Number 3, my Roland MC-707 Groovebox. Now some like to route their drum machines through the loopstation, but I prefer to keep it separate, so I send the audio signal straight to the mixer. Even though this is a Groovebox, I use it more like a drum machine. The main reason I got this is that it has the pads, which makes it easier to trigger samples on the fly. It also has a lot more options, and the scenes are awesome for changing in between songs. Now some might argue if you're not making everything up on the spot from scratch, it's not really live looping, it's cheating. But the reason a lot of venues would book a musician playing backing tracks rather than a looper is that watching a looper taking 1 to 2 minutes to build up each song is not very entertaining for most. Getting my drum loops to have all the detail I want takes too long and diminishes the entertainment value. So I switched to pre-made patterns and percussion loops, focusing on creating other elements, with the entertainment value coming from manipulating all these elements while aiming to move through songs as fast as a DJ would. The way I've set up my drum machine allows me to have 64 songs loaded up and ready to go in one single project, which for me is up to 4 hours of continuous beat mixed sets per project. So no waiting on loading up a new project in between a gig. So in terms of audio on this, I've split the audio out into 3 groups. The main output, which is stereo. Number 2, the assignable left. And number 3, the assignable right. Why split the outputs? Well, the MC-707 has a master low pass and high pass filter, which is great for creating variations in the energy of a song, cutting out the kick or the high. This master effect isn't assignable and affects all signal going through the main output. So anything I want to bypass the filter needs to go to the assignable outputs. All audio outputs are routed to the Zoom audio mixer, except for a silent kick on channel 2, which goes out of the assignable right into the bass sidechain compressor. Also, track 2 is the only track where I don't need to change the volume, so I always keep the fader up, meaning that the kick drum sent out to the compressor doesn't change in volume. The track layout that works for me after trying several different combinations is this. Track 1 is drum rolls. This goes to the assignable left output, which goes to my Zoom mixer. Track 2, one shots. Also on track 2, I have a silent kick drum, which is routed to the assignable right. You never hear this when the music is playing, but it's actually triggering the compressor here. I'll explain that in more detail in a following chapter. Another important feature to note about the Groovebox, tracks 3 to 8 have been changed from the default track mode to clip mode. The default factory mode, track patterns, this means that you assign one sound to each sample, and these sounds are shared throughout all of the 16 patterns on each track. However, when you change a track to clip mode, that means that each pattern has its own set of drum sounds. So in theory, there's 16 patterns per track, which means you could have 16 drum kits per track, giving you a total of 128 drum kits, each with their own 16 sounds. The caveat is that you have a memory limit on the sample bank for each project, and it starts filling up quickly once you add 4 beat loops to multiple drum kits. So I try and be thrifty with my loops. Where possible, I cut down any loops to 2 beats, and you can sequence in variations on the clip pattern in the machine, rather than play out a long sample of, say, 4 or 8 bars. Back to my tracks. Track 3. Common percussion loops that I share between songs. Track 4. More common percussion loops to share between songs, but routed to the left assignable output, so it's not affected by the master filter. Tracks 5, 6, 7 and 8 have dedicated drum kits for each song, which go through the main output. Each track can have up to 16 song clips, and these clips can be then saved as scenes, and I can have up to 128 scenes. The other handy feature on each clip is you can save program changes. So when the RD2000 changes scenes, this new scene sends a program change to the MC-707, and within the scene in the MC-07, I've put a program change in one of the drum kit clips, which sends another program change to the P-6 sampler. Once again, with the master volume, I like to keep it at exactly half, and all the faders are usually set at full, except for track 1, which I use it as I need it. And as mentioned before, 90-degree angle cable connections wherever possible. I see how neat and tidy this is, plus all the space that I have to use for something other than cables sticking out of each device. If you enjoyed this video, then this next one might interest you. Take care of yourself and keep making music.